Welcome to the City of Omaha City Council Agenda Review. The agenda was revised on June 1st at 1:50 p.m. So let's get right into this and take a look. Tomorrow's meeting, June 2nd. The first will begin with liquor. Um, Exarban TBC, which is item 6. I don't really see anything here. Item 7 is another liquor at the Academy Club. And this one, there may be some opposition, maybe, or there may be some discussion, let's say on 7. Um, Item 8, another liquor, public hearing, no problem. Number 9, there may be some discussion as there was a opposition and a support. And this, if you look at the opposition, it is because of the approval of a C license because this person couldn't attend. But the liquor license, people say if you have opposition to um, by the city council or whatever governing body, there may be some discussion here. So let's go right on back and moving along. Okay. Number 11, we know this is Creighton University, so we know there's not going to be, that will definitely be a pass. Number 12, Godfather's Pizza, North 108th Street, changing the corporate structure, probably no problem. Godfather's Pizza 13. So those are all the liquor license. Moving along, number 14, I don't have much interest. 15. Here you will note, because of this, it does say it will have to have a vote of 5 members. It is a public hearing. This is to plat the city limits out located northwest of Park Road and Main Street. Um, it has been approved by the planning board, as it says right here, so I can't see much discussion. It should go 7-0. McDermott General, no, I don't think so. But special use. Uh, this is for the coffee clubhouse. I don't think that if I don't see it not passing. There is some opposition to this. However, I don't think so. But we could be surprised. 18, special permit submitted to allow automotive sales in the CC district located at 48th and Q. This was approved by the planning board, which made some changes previously. So here again, I don't think this is going to be a problem. It will, because planning board approved. Very seldom is anything not signed. Well, very seldom does the Omaha City Council not approve anything. But whenever there's the planning board department recommend, it's usually a done deal. So here's some items we're going to get into. Here we start the consent agenda. Now, this consent agenda means that the public hearings on items 20 through 24 were held on May 19th, 2026. So all the public hearing is discussion has been taken place, pretty much so. So what will happen here? These will pretty much go right through unless someone in the city council brings one of these out. And I don't see it really happening. Could be, but I don't think so. Now, we get into public hearing sorry, not a public hearing, but consent agenda resolutions. Again, these next ones are all pretty much going along with the previous public hearing meetings. If you wish to address the city council regarding any of these items, please come to the microphone. Indicate the agenda item number you wish to address. Identify yourself by your name, address, and who you represent, if you are a proponent or opponent. And these are items 25 through 54. Let's take a look at this. Here we go. Lottery 25, Lottery 26, Lottery 27, tax service for, no problem. No problem. It's the downtown riverfront. Have you ever seen anything not go through? And what this is talking about as is to meet all environmental and other commitments related to this project. So that's a done deal. Let's get to number 30. 31. Nope. 32. 33. These are pretty much all nothing more than to approve some paying out of your tax dollars. Here we got number 34. Nothing there. Finance department authorized. Yep. Payments, payments, payments. Pretty much so. Recommended by the mayor. All of this. So no pretty. Now, this one was removed. This was withdrawn from the agenda at 1:40 p.m. That's why one of the reasons why we have this agenda revised. Don't know what that was for. Probably see it coming back up. And number 41. This is the supplement agreement between the City of Omaha and Schmidt Associates for the item here, DPS 28162, state control, being the North 24th Street streetscape, Ohio Street to Sailor Street project with a cost to the city of $47,226.87. This will be paid from the 2022 transportation bond, and hereby is approved. Just wanted to pull this up. There's like 35 pages. And so I'm not going to go through all of this, but it was here where 80% of the costs will be paid from federal funds and the city council's local share. City's local share. That's the reason why this additional amount. This goes way back. But then everything that's on 24th Street BID goes way back. So it's not surprising. You can go through if you like, but I don't see anything here. I'm sure. I shouldn't say I'm sure, but probably this will be approved. And it hasn't been pulled yet. So I think that'll be, and of course, our city council, District 2, this is related to 24th Street, BID is involved. Now this is not saying the BID, we should go further into it, but it is on North 24th Street. So we all know who runs that. Moving along, 42, 43, 44, 45. These are all no problem there. 48, 49, 50, public library, new style development, in the amount. Here it is. This is to authorize to sign the agreement on behalf of the city of Omaha, and this is reimbursement costs. Done deal. Nothing else needs to be said. Okay, number 52, 53. Nope. Now here's one that I would like to point out. 53 is okay. Founder of the co-founder to be a member of the Bohemian Business Improvement Area, which is the BID. Now, this is the one that I am most interested in. Why? Here again, no change. This is the Omaha Inland Port Authority. What it was set up, 3 members of the Omaha Inland Port Authority were to be either removed, which really there should be a vote. They should be replaced because here again, Mayor Ewing, there's no change. This is all, they were appointed by Stothert. This is all her doing, and there's still nothing new. By the mayor has recommended, him and his staff have discussed this. So at the request of the mayor, attention attached for your consideration is the resolution to reappoint Brooke Aiken to serve as commissioner for the Inland Port Authority. Her current term, which was to expire June 4th, 2026, her new term will commence on June 5th, 2026 and expire June 4th, 2029. I'm like, when does it ever change, sir? Everything. There's no change here. There is nothing new. Everything that was set up underneath the administration of Gene Stothert is still rolling right along. Why don't we have new representation on the Omaha Inland Port Authority Board? Instead, we got the same ones, same one. What happened to the other 2 board members that should be replaced or reappointed? I see nothing here. And if you look, this is the information that was on Brooke when she was originally appointed. This item will pass because they're on the agenda. That's how they get a lot of this stuff through, which I don't know why they don't have to do it because, hey, they're going to vote for it. It's going to be approved. So item 54, I was concerned with. Now, getting into, here's another item. This is the vote today. And it's kind of wondering, the public hearing was on May 19th. Didn't hear anything about it. There was communication and opposition. It was amended to the whole, requested by the law department. So what was here, they're saying, hereby move that the ordinance on June 2nd, 20 be amended in the whole by deleting it in its entirety and substituting in lieu, therefore, the attached ordinance, which you get in here. Folks, this is the ordinance that will allow and provide for an exception for city employees to engage in fundraising activities in limited circumstances. So what this supposedly was to be so that the fire department, who they usually have, on the street on certain days to raise funds, for a nonprofit organization while working on city paid time or using city-owned property, equipment, uniforms, or facilities. So this is to allow, at the sole discretion of the department director and the mayor, to proceed with fundraising activities aligned with the mission of the city Omaha. So while they're out there in their uniforms with the bucket, they will be able to collect, and guess what? This will be approved, and therefore it will be on city time. Yep. Again, no change, no change. I'm telling you, it is utterly ridiculous. Now, public hearing? Nope, because it was May 19th. Seems like if you had the public hearing and you had these change in requests, at least it should be put out there before time. Resolutions 56, 57. Here's the other one. And I thought this was interesting because, why? Look at this. All appropriate settlement documents to cause the conclusion entitled Nakisha Jones versus Sergeant Zachary B. Petrick. This is a settle agreement. And what is this? This is the public hearing. You wouldn't know anything about this. This was involved with an officer. The settlement means the plaintiffs will dismiss their case with prejudice. Additional information as with this case has been submitted in a confidential memorandum that you may review in executive session. But what about the public? Did you know this was existing? So why even have it here? Here is the cause of this, folks. This is occurring litigation because there is a case in district court. The alleged plaintiffs, they suffered damages as the result of a warrantless entry of their home that occurred when the Omaha Police Department officers responded to a call and forcibly entered their residence. How many of you heard about this? How many of you know? Go down here. The plaintiffs have agreed to accept that amount as honest, full, and complete settlement of any and all claims against Nakisha Jones individually and on behalf of her minor child, Jason Griffin, Marquita Jones, Zamaya Spurlock, and to dismiss this lawsuit with prejudice. How many of you even heard about this happening? But we have transparency with the Omaha Police Department. You guys talk about all this happening with the police department. Everything's going down so easy, crime and rate and all this. But here's an incident, warrantless. This could have ended up in a very different situation. Unfortunately, no one lost their life. Or I should say, fortunately, no one lost their life. Ordinance on the second reading. This is to acquire the property from 120th Street on 4th Street. The park interest, this is all of that construction and stuff that's going on for Tranquility Park. And you know that's not going to stop. Here is the item that I thought was interesting, although it's going to pass, but this is something where it's starting, I should say, this one's okay. This is the item. Saddle Creek. The public hearing will be, and this is where it starts. Whoops, I'm sorry. I hit the button too fast. We'll get back over there. Don't worry, don't worry. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm sorry. I was hitting that button too fast. Got a little worried. All right. was coming down. This is the Saddle Creek LLC marketplace. This is part of the funding, TIF funding request. This is offering the use of 9.55005590 for all 5 phases combined, capitalization, interest, and so forth. Public hearing today. This keeps leading into the big discussion, which will be this one right here. This is the TIF project that they want. And let me show you something on this one. I don't know how many of you know, but this is over in the area where Family Saver and those used to be. And this is like one of those very few times that this occurs. But it's such a sham over there, and it's going to be approved because why? They already approved the TIF funding, and when they already get it to this point, it's a done deal. But here, this is just a sample. There were 22 opposition. I am a constituent. Look at this. Writing to vote no on the Saddle Creek redevelopment TIF and EEA agreements on Tuesday's agenda. I am deeply troubled by what this represents, handing $21 million in taxpayer subsidies, including a brand new $12 million occupation tax surcharge on purchases in the district to provide a private developer to demolish the Family Fair Strip and those immigrant-owned businesses surrounding. It is displacement. It is not redevelopment, and that is. The businesses at risk were the Family Fair, Lee's Beauty Shop, King's African Grocery Store, just to name a few, China Palace, Tax Shop, all of those businesses, tearing them down to build 2,400 month apartments isn't investment in this neighborhood. It is displacement. Displacement. This community was promised input on the Saddle Creek redevelopment. Instead, what did they get? Landing a $21 million deal on the agenda with just days to respond is not community input. And this person also went on to say they opposed that the city employs and elected officials to fundraise on city time using city facilities and resources. People, this is what's happening. And I go back. We may have elected a new mayor. We may have elected a new city council person, but as nothing is changing. Nothing. Here again, these are more people. There were 22 opposition letters. No, vote no. Vote no. No. All of this. Do you think it's going to make a difference? This is a public hearing. All righty. We'll see. Getting back to our agenda. Continuing on. An ordinance to approve open orders based upon the lowest and best bid within specifications. And it's a joke because they're going to take this. When they say lowest and best bid, look at who the company is, and you can bet your bottom dollar that company's going to get it. These are within 6263. Non-action items. These items do not require a public hearing or city council consideration at the present meeting. They will be placed on future agendas for public hearing and city council. Here's one coming up. This won't, it's PUR, that's approved because again, see when you have planning board and planning department, it's happening. But Here, now, this is going to be laid over. There will be a public hearing on this. And this is a project that truly should be in considerate for TIF project. It is for the redevelopment located at 4009 Redmond Avenue. And we all know where that's at. Vacant building, so forth. It will be repurposed to serve as a mixed income. Here's what I'm like. This is what redevelopment is supposed to be about. Mixed income, independent living senior apartment complex will be expanded with a large 3-story addition. It will have 160 apartment units, and it will be about 140 square feet in size. It will contain 136 affordable units and 24 market rate units. This is what this is supposed to be about, Tiff. The public hearing will be laid over till June 30th. Here's the 25th Street. 25th and Center is another TIF project coming forth. This one will be coming up on June 30th. Notice, here we go. All units in this project will be affordable housing leased to income qualified households. 2501 Center Street. This is what this is supposed to be, $3,613,000. Do you notice how much the difference is in these TIF projects whenever it's talking about affordable housing, mixed income housing, where it is supposed to be? That's TIF supposed to be for, instead of all these market rate housing or housing that is, what should I say, penthouse housing, all this. No. This one is a TIF project coming up also on June 30th. And this is the demolition of the large decommissioned grain elevator, majority of the adjacent silos, and so forth. This will have 233 market rate units. Can you believe it? 233. Again, I want you to notice, look at how much, anytime it is market rate or luxury rate apartments and so forth, look at how much money. 10,461,000. But when you get up here to where you're going to have true TIF funding or true TIF redevelopment, you talk about 2 million. You'll talk about 3 million. But wait till it gets to that market rate. So that's all coming June 30th. There will be no city council meeting on the 26th. These are all that's coming. The first reading June 2nd, public hearing June 9th. So those will be coming back. 2311 Douglas Street. Here we go. Redevelopment project located at 2311 Douglas Street. Blah. To be occupied by law office and to create 2 additional commercial tenant spaces in the basement for the use of $95,000. Where is this supposed to be? TIF funding coming up for commercial projects. But it was supposed to be for housing projects. Okay, 71 TIF, and I'm not objecting to this. Look at this. Redevelopment for the city of Omaha and Holy Name for a redevelopment project located at Corby and Miami Street, North 33rd Street, North 34th. See what I said? Proposes the construction of 10 affordable single-family homes for sale to income qualified. 405,000. That's all they're asking for TIF. Okay. Told you, affordable. Here we go. Number 77, this will be the first reading, and then they'll have the second reading. Public hearing is scheduled for June 9th. This is a no-brainer because we don't have any kind of money that comes to Omaha, City of Omaha is going to be, and this is a long-standing one. You can bet your bottom dollar. This is just put in here for the first reading, second reading, and the third, just because the law says they have to do it. Otherwise, it was a done deal when it was put on the paper. And here we go. An ordinance amending. This was passed back in February for tax increment financing, or better known as TIF, for the city of Omaha with Uptown Properties, LLC. So that's on the agenda for next week. Now, I'm not sure, folks, what happened here on this agenda, because, as I said, it was revised on this afternoon. Well, it was revised June 1st at 1:50. And on the previous, there was an item 20, which I don't see it here, was listed to honor Ron Boone. Now, I don't see that on here, so I'm not sure what happened to it. And I don't know when it will be taken up again because it's not listed. I don't know. Have to send a little note over to our city council representative to find out what happened. Anyway, that's it for Omaha City Council review. Have a great day. We'll see you later, alligator.